Hello students, now we are going to study the PCM generation. So let us start with the PCM generator. PCM is nothing but the pulse code modulator. Pulse code modulator is technique samples the input signal x of t at a frequency fs is greater than or equal to 2 W. That is Nyquist criteria. So that is your sampling frequency is greater than or equal to twice of the highest frequency component. This sampled variable amplitude pulse is then digitized by the analog to digital converter, and then the parallel bits is obtained are converted to the serial bit stream as shown in the figure. So this figure is nothing but the PCM generator. So that is x of t is fed to the low pass filter where low frequency component is passed and high frequency components get attenuated. Again that high frequency component signal is fed to the sample and hold circuit where the sampling is done. So you will get the x of NTS, which is a discrete signal. Again it is fed to the quantizer where the approximation of the sample signal is done or rounding off is done. Again it is fed to the binary encoder or A to D converter where parallel streams are generated. So it is converted fed to the parallel to the serial converter, that is so you will get here the PCM. So this sampling frequency, that is a sampling frequency, is same applied to the sample and hold circuit and it is applied to the parallel to serial conversion. So here the oscillator is used which have the oscillating frequency fs is greater than or equal to twice of the 2 omega. So this is the PCM generator. So in PCM generator, this figure, the x of t is signal is first passed through the low pass filter of cutoff frequency W. This low pass filter blocks the all frequency component above the W hertz, and this x of t is now band limited to the W hertz. Then it is applied to the sample and hold circuit. So as the second block is the sample and hold circuit. So this sample and hold circuit is then samples this signal at the rate of the sampling frequency, and sampling frequency is so selected that it satisfies the Nyquist criteria or Nyquist rate to avoid the aliasing. So that is Fs is greater than the 2W. So in this figure, the sample and hold circuit provides the X of NTS signal. Now the output of sample and hold circuit is called as the X of NTS, that is a sampled signal. This X of NTS is discrete in time but continuous in amplitude. And the Q level quantizer compares the input X of NTS with the fixed digital value. So this signal is given to the quantizer where you will get the different digital fixed digital values for the specific amplitudes, and these labels as labels to the X of NTS with its fixed digital labels and assigns to the which minimizes the distortions and error. So this error is called as a quantization error. So quantization error can be minimized due to the distortion, and this output of the quantizer is called as a XQ of NTS is applied to the applied to the binary encoder. Now the PCM generation, the quantized signal XQ of NTS is given to the binary encoder. So the XQ of NTS is given to the binary encoder, and this encoder converts the input signal to the V digits binary word. So thus XQ of NTS is converted to the V binary bits, and this encoder is also called as a digitizer. So it is not possible to transmit the each bits of binary words separately on the transmission line. So, so these V words cannot be transmitted separately to the transmission line. So the serial parallel to the serial converter is applied. So where you will get the parallel to the serial converted bits. So you will get the serial bits. So it is not possible to transmit the each bit of binary words separately on the transmission line. So therefore V binary bits are converted to the serial bits to generate the baseband signal. So in parallel to the serial converter, normally shift register does this job. So conversion of the parallel to serial, and the output of PCM generator is thus the single baseband signal of the binary bits. An oscillator generates the clock for the sample and hold circuit and as well as clock for the parallel to the serial converter. And the PCM code modulation generator is discussed. The sample and hold and quantizer and encoder combined is nothing but the analog to digital converter. So uh, sample and hold circuit, quantizer and encoder is combined is nothing but the A to D converter for the PCM. Now the calculate the calculation of the bandwidth in the PCM. So we are going to derive the bandwidth for the PCM system. So you can use the pen and notebook for the derivation of the bandwidth as well as the next formulas. So it is very useful for you to derive the all equation and to understand the all equations. So it is advised to use the pen and notebook so that you can get the all derivations of this presentation. So let us derive the transmission bandwidth in the PCM. So let the quantizer use the V number of binary digit to represent the each label. And the number of labels that can be represented by the V will be Q is equal to 2 raised to V. So suppose V is equal to 3 bits. So that is Q is equal to 2 raised to 3, that is 8 labels are there. So the each sample is converted into the V binary bits and the number of bits per samples is equal to V. So you know the number of samples per second is nothing but the Fs, and the number of bits per second is given by number of bits is equal to number of bits per sample into number of samples per second. So V bits per sample into Fs samples per second. So V into Fs, so the number of bits per second is also called as a signaling rate. So the definition you know might ask into the various MCQs exam or in MCQs. So what is the signaling rate? Signaling rate is nothing but the number of bits per second of the PCM and it is denoted by the small r. So small r, that is the signaling rate of the PCM, r is equal to V into Fs. Here the frequency, that is the sampling frequency, is greater than 2W. So bandwidth needed for the transmission will be the half of the signaling rate. So the PCM transmission bandwidth is Bt is greater than or equal to 1 by 2 of R, that is the signaling, half of the signaling rate, or transmission bandwidth is greater than or equal to 1 by 2 V into Fs, that is R, that is since the Fs is greater than 2W, or you can use the transmission bandwidth is greater than or equal to V into W. Next, the receiver. So just check the receiver block diagram, which is opposite of the your transmitter block diagram. So PCM plus noise signal is available at the regenerator after the PCM, clear clean PCM will get after the serial to parallel conversion. So V bits will get recovered. Again it is fed to the digital to analog converter so that your analog signal will get, again it is fed to the sample and hold circuit, so you will get the quantize the signal, and it is fed to the low pass filter, so you will get the original signal, and for the synchronization the timer can be used. So this figure shows the PCM receiver reconstructed signal as the regenerated at the start of the PCM receives reshapes the pulse and removes the noise. So regenerator removes the noise and reshapes the signal, and this signal is converted to the parallel digital words to the each sample. So this is the sampled signal and this is the original signal. Now the digital word is converted into the analog XQ of T along with the sample and hold circuit. So the output of sample and hold circuit is passed through the low pass reconstruction filter. You will get the Y of D, which is exact replica of your original signal. But it is impossible to reconstruct the exact original signal because the permanent quantization or quantization error is introduced during the quantization at the transmitter, and this quantization error can be reduced by increasing the binary labels, but this is equivalent to increasing the binary digits per sample. So but increasing the V, increasing in the signaling rate and as well as transmission bandwidth. So as you know the transmission bandwidth equation, if you increase the signaling rate, the bandwidth will get increases. So therefore the choice of these parameters is made such that the noise due to the quantization error is called as the quantization noise is in the tolerable limit. So that noise should be in the tolerance, or it should be in the limit. Next one is the quantization. So this is about the PCM. Now turn to the quantization. The quantizing of an analog signal is done by discretizing the signal with the number of quantization labels. So converting the done by the discretizing the signal or digitizing the signal with the number of quantization labels. So quantization is representing the sampled value of the amplitude by a finite set of labels, and which means converting the continuous amplitude into the discrete time signal. And the both sampling and quantization results in the loss of information. So the quality of quantizer output depends upon the number of quantization labels used. But the discrete amplitudes of the quantized output is called as a reconstruction label or representation labels. And the spacing between two adjacent representation label is called as a step size. So there are two kind of the quantization. One is the uniform quantization and second one is the non-uniform quantization. In uniform quantization, the step size remains fixed, or this is the type of the quantization level uniformly spaced, or the step size is fixed. So we can call it as a uniform quantization. But in case of the non-uniform quantization, the step size changes, or the type of the quantization in which the quantization levels are unequal and mostly relation between them is a logarithmic, and we can call it as a so non-uniform quantization. Uniform quantization have the two types, mid-rise type quantization and mid-trade type quantization. So these are the two types, that is a mid-rise type of the quantization, uniform quantization, and mid-trade type of the quantization. So mid-rise is also called because this origin lies into the middle part of the staircase like a graph. So that's why this is called as a mid-rise type of the quantization. And the quantization level in this type are the even numbers. So you can check into the, so these are the steps uh, are in the even number, labels are in even number. Mid thread type of the quantization because the origin lies in the middle of the thread of the staircase. So middle of the staircase, and the labels in this type of the quantization is odd. So both mid thread and mid rise type of uniform quantizer is symmetric about the origin. Next is the quantization noise and the signal to noise ratio in the PCM system. So quantization error. So the quantization error is inherent error are introduced in the signal, and this error is called as a quantization error. So we can define E or epsilon is equal to quantized signal, that is xq of NTS is minus sampled signal, that is x of NTS. So that is nothing but the quantization error. So we can define the definition for the quantization error like the difference between the quantized levels and sampled signals. So that is nothing but the quantization error. Next is the step size. If the input signal or sampled signal is x of NTS with a continuous in amplitude having the range minus x max to plus x min, then the total amplitude range becomes total range is x max minus of minus x max. So it becomes 2x max. So delta or step size or the amplitude, all total amplitude is divided into the q levels of the quantizer. Then the step size delta is given as a delta is equal to x max minus of minus x max divided by q. So 2x max divided by the q. If the signal x of t is normalized to the minimum and maximum value equal to the 1, then x max is equal to 1 and minus x max is equal to minus 1. Then the step size will become 2 divided by q for the normalized signal. Next, the probability density function of the quantization error. So suppose the step size delta is sufficiently small, then it is reasonable to assume that the quantization error will be uniformly distributed random variable. Then the maximum quantization error is given by the E max is equal to delta by 2. So your error should be in between minus delta by 2 to the plus delta by 2. So the interval will become minus delta by 2 to the plus delta by 2. Quantization error is uniformly distributed. So this is the uniform distribution, and the second function is uniform distribution for the quantization errors. Then the function will become 0 for x is less than a. For the first figure, it is 1 divided by b minus a, that is b minus a for the a to b, and it is 0 for x is greater than b. So this is the probability density, uniform probability density function for the PCM, that is error. So next one is the error function. So for the figure B, it is 0 for epsilon or error is less than or equal to delta by 2. It is 1 by delta for the minus delta by 2 to the plus delta by 2, when error is in between minus delta by 2 to the plus delta by 2, and it is 0 when error function is greater than delta by 2. Noise power noise power the quantization error has the zero average value, that is means that m epsilon of the quantization error is 0. So the signal to noise ratio is the signal power, that is a normalized signal power to the normalized noise power. So that is noise power, you know that the noise power is v square noise divided by r, and mean square value is e of error square, that is epsilon bar square. So the mean square value of the random variable x is given by x square is equal to epsilon of or energy function e of x square. So that is integration of minus infinity to infinity x square fx of x dx. So e square is equal to error function e square is equal to integration of minus infinity to infinity epsilon square f e of epsilon d epsilon. So you will get the function e function is equal to delta square divided by 2. So from this equation, the mean square value of noise voltage is noise voltage square is equal to mean square value is equal to delta square by 12. So noise power will become delta square by 2. So the quantization noise power is become delta square by 2 for the linear quantization, and the signal to noise ratio will become normalized signal power to the normalized noise power. So that is normalized signal power divided by normalized noise power is delta square by 12. But the quantization levels Q is equal to 2 raised to V, and by putting these values, so delta becomes 2x max divided by 2 raised to V. That is so this equation can be put into the equation number 17. So you will get S by n normalized signal power divided by 2x max divided by 2 raised to V bracket square plus 12. So you will get the S by n, that is 3p divided by x max square into 2 into 2 raised to V. 2V, 2 raised to 2V. So the normalized quantization noise ratio is S by n is equal to 3p divided by x square max into 2 raised to 2V. So if we assume the x of t is the normalized, so x max is equal to 1. So S by n is equal to 3 into 2 raised to Vp. So if p is the normalized, so p is less than equal to 1. So the signal to noise ratio is less than a 10 dB. So 10 dB decibel in decibel 10 dB into S by n into dB. So it is 4.6 plus 6V dB. So signal to quantization noise ratio is S by n dB less than or equal to 4.8 in plus 6 dB. So and P and amplitude of the x of t. Next is non-uniform quantization. In non-uniform quantization, the step size is not fixed. It varies according to the certain law or as per the input signal amplitude. The following figure shows the characteristic of the non-uniform quantization. So here the step size is changes. So in next lecture we are going to check the compounding which is used for the PCM. Thank you.